Welcome to Transformation Technologies Incorporated. Today, we invite you to explore a green revolution powered by absolute financial independence and breakthrough proprietary technology. Let's find out how TTI transformed challenges into sustainable resources across 63 nations. With over 25 years of industrial experience, Transformation Technologies has made a massive footprint. Mr. Patrick, could you please share what TTI is about, including its core capabilities, mission, and how the company contributes to the global sustainability and circular economy challenges?
Sure. So Transformation Technologies is a company that was created to build technologies that could take contaminated sites, and instead of moving those contaminated sites into a landfill, we could analyze those sites, create technologies where the waste that was in those sites could be converted to beneficial use products. So for the most part, our mission is to create products that we can use in everyday life from waste. And I would say our mission is, of course, we're a green company, and in the technologies that we create, we also do not want to create any secondary waste streams. Transformation Technologies actually started 35 years ago with the management team. All the management team knew each other. We worked together on several projects. We all had our own companies. We all had our own technologies. And in 2018, we decided to come together with all those technologies, put them in one entity, and utilize that entity globally and take on unique type projects. So we looked for projects rather than bidding projects. We looked for projects that we could actually engineer, manufacture, and build the technology for. And we looked for long-term projects that were not short cleanup projects, but projects that had a major impact on the environment.
There are some companies advertising that they are creating environmental technologies. So what makes Transformation Technologies different from its competitors, and what makes it unique?
I think Transformation Technologies, first of all, I think the competition in the world for environmental technologies is very strong. So all the companies that create technologies, there's a lot of great ones, and they all have their own niche. I think Transformation Technologies, if not the only, one of the only technology companies in the world that actually builds technologies per site. We found out a long time ago that it's not a cookie cutter industry for technologies. You can't build that one technology that works everywhere. So what separates Transformation Technologies is that we build unique to the site. But the other thing I think that separates Transformation Technologies is that we not only build the technologies, we operate the technologies on those sites. So when we initially got into the business, we were buying technologies. We were finding that we'd use them on one project, we'd have to totally rebuild them for the next project. So we decided that it was easier for us to build the initial technology for each site, put the people on it, operate the technology, and actually perform the cleanups on those sites. Definitely, we are one of a kind in that particular way. We also are very unique in the way that we approach the build of each technology. We use a certain technique in the building of the technologies to where we apply thermal activities to volatilize off gases, and we capture all those off gases, whether it be oil, vinegar from wood, any contaminant, we turn it into off gas, we capture it, and we reuse it.
To the best of my knowledge, TTI has operated in over 55 countries. So what advantage does TTI brings to the local communities?
Well, the first advantage TTI brings to the local communities is we clean up an environmental catastrophe typically. So the pollution cleanup, the pollution control, that would be the initial advantage we bring. The other advantage that TTI brings to local communities is that we don't come into a country to take over that country as an American company or a Vietnamese company or a Bahraini company. What we do is we come into that country and we train the local community to operate our systems. So we start with teaching them HAZWOPER activities, how to work on a hazardous materials site. We go into first aid training, then we go into the engineering and the actual operation of our facilities. Typically, that is 60, 70 people that are hired in that community. So not only do we train them and we give them a lifelong ability to do that type of work, we also pay them, which adds economy to the local community. We also design the machines around the local community. So by that, I mean all the things that we utilize on that machine, we buy locally. We buy fuel, we buy belts, we buy motors, we buy everything that comes into that unit comes into the economy of the local community. We also have programs that we establish within the local community. In Africa, for instance, we've established schools. We do clean water drinking. We do all kinds of activities that help the local community out. And in the end, the employees that work on those sites when the projects are completed, we offer them the ability to work overseas. So along with the local work, we give them the opportunity to go into different cultures, learn different cultures.
You've been in Vietnam for over 6 years. Can you give comparisons on your experience in Vietnam to other countries?
Yeah, so Vietnam was started during COVID. So it was an extremely unique scenario for TTI. I, as the CEO, usually would go in and out of countries, be there maybe 2 weeks, leave. I ended up being in Vietnam for almost a year straight, and I really enjoyed that experience. Vietnam, as a work atmosphere, is extremely nice. To live here, the people are amazing, the country's amazing. The things that are key to our working conditions, regulators, Monray, Donray, they were exceptional. And very strict, which was surprising to us, very straightforward rules. A lot of countries don't have that. The rules are extremely gray, so it's kind of hard to work in those situations. Vietnam had a plethora of engineers. So we had many people that were highly educated to pick from and to train on our units. Vietnam, climate-wise, wasn't great, but you know, I mean, nowhere's perfect. I think the only real disadvantage we had in Vietnam was the language. We did not have a lot of people that could speak English, And so in a way that was extremely hard, but it was also a learning experience for us. We learned how to work in a culture that couldn't understand us, and we jumped that hurdle. We were able to get by that, and it was a very successful project, and that's the whole reason we decided to establish one of our main offices in Vietnam, because culture's great, the working atmosphere is great, regulators were great. We really liked it. We enjoyed Vietnam.
Mr. Patrick, I'm really curious on what is your inspirations to create innovative technologies for your clients?
So, that's a great question. I think that the inspiration behind our technologies comes from the client. So, as I explained earlier, we're a little different than most companies. We don't sit in our office and say, hey, we want to invent a technology that cleans bitumen. Instead, clients approach us often with very complicated projects, very complicated cleanups that they have, and goals that they have. We listen carefully to the clients and what the client's end goal is, and myself and the team sit down, and we initially don't start with the technology, we start with the cleanup goals. We look at what they want to get accomplished on the site, and then we take what they want to get accomplished on the site and we look at the different waste streams. We decide, hey, we can take that waste stream, we can make this happen with that waste stream, and we can create this beneficial use product out of that waste stream. Then we move it to engineering from there, and we componentize a cleanup strategy and an actual mechanical strategy to make that cleanup take place. And we go from the mechanical to the actual bench scale. And at TTI, we do not do computer bench scales. We do quarter-size bench scales where we're actually building that technology in our shop in Tonganoxie, Kansas. We bring in the waste from the client and we actually run it through the process. And if it works, we take that process, we use the timeline that the client gave us for a goal, and we create a technology, an actual mechanical technology big enough to meet their goals. And we mobilize, as I said earlier, and we operate that technology on their site. And 100% of the time, it will be an extremely unique technology. There's times we patent those technologies, and there's time that we just keep the technology to ourselves and use it more as a trade secret.
Mr. Patrick, could you disclose any new technologies or projects in the near future?
So, I won't technically explain the new technologies that we've got coming out. Later on, Keith Chapman, who is the Vice President of Transformation Technologies and the designer around the 100% of our technologies, he can technically explain the new technologies. So those are the latest technologies, and we're real excited to employ them first in Vietnam.
Thank you, Mr. Patrick, for such an inspiring and meaningful sharing.
Hello, my name is Keith Chapman, and I'm the Vice President of Transformation Technologies Incorporated. Recently, TTI was asked about some new technologies we just created that would be utilized first here in Vietnam, and why are these technologies created, and what's the creative process used when creating these processes. Defining these upcoming facilities that we will be constructing here in Vietnam as new technologies is a bit misleading. The technology that TTI utilizes to create secondary manufacturing facilities is technology that we have created in the past that is already proven. It's not necessarily new. It'd be more accurate to say that it's been adjusted to meet new project and environmental objectives. TTI's leadership experience spans more than 35 years, during which the company has developed a wide range of technologies proven on contaminated sites around the world. For the first 2 decades, TTI focused on designing and implementing innovative technologies tailored to unique challenges presented by different waste and in diverse countries. We recognized early on that every waste stream and country presents distinctive requirements. TTI established itself at the forefront of environmental remediation and recycling in the environmental movement, creating and controlling multiple methods for cleaning contaminated sites. Because these methods were developed in-house, TTI can adjust each and customize each process to fit the specific needs of the various project conditions. Let me explain our approach to technology creation. Rather than developing entirely new technologies for each project, TTI leverages our portfolio of proven technologies. When facing new challenges, TTI organizes and modifies these existing technologies, making minor adjustments necessary to create processes that effectively address the client problems. Our approach enables TTI to develop solutions with confidence, relying on full-scale facilities and practical field-tested methods rather than bench-scale or computer-based models. TTI's creative process is driven by opportunities that align with our business model. When a situation arises that benefits our client, TTI and the environment, TTI commits to developing new recycling processes and solutions. We know we have reached our goals when a project enables us to implement proven methods, generate beneficial use products, and create economically viable scenarios that serve all the parties involved. This philosophy ensures that TTI develops positive outcomes for clients, the company, and the environment alike. Another question which I would like to answer in more detail for you now was, can TTI give some background on the new processes we'll be using here in Vietnam? Let me explain. The initial objective for our client was to improve the method by which their company generates steam. This steam is essential for drying one of the materials needed to manufacture the final product. However, the current method presented several challenges related to pollution control. It was labor intensive and raised safety concerns that the client sought to address. Upon visiting the job site and observing operations, we discovered that the client was utilizing a product to create energy for steam that could potentially be repurposed as a valuable byproduct. After spending several hours on site, TTI proposed a solution that combines 2 of our established processes. Each process incorporates proven TTI technologies which can be modified to help the client achieve their goals. This approach will not only fulfill the client's objective of steam generation, but also create a secondary revenue stream and improve the facility's carbon footprint. In addition to meeting these goals, TTI will also assist another client of ours by using a material typically imported into Vietnam for energy production. This existing client has stockpiled energy material in a location not approved by regulators, resulting in an unfavorable environmental solution. By relocating and repurposing this material, TTI addresses both regulatory and environmental concerns. TTI has utilized direct fire technology since 1988. Traditionally, these technologies were powered by waste oil, natural gas, or diesel. The process being implemented in Vietnam is highly innovative. It utilizes direct fired combustion with changes to the fuel source and ignition point, allowing the use of solid fuel. This is made possible by modifying the burner setup and introducing a method to pulverize the solid fuel source, which is then injected into the burner through a pressure blower. The energy is ignited in a custom combustion chamber, a design that TTI has refined for over the past 30 years. The combustion process produces fly ash, which will be collected and sold as a beneficial product. The collection and discharge area for fly ash in the new combustion chamber will mirror systems used in our direct-fired thermal oxidizers. The energy generated from combustion will be substantial and will serve 2 locations. Most of the energy will be transferred into a boiler to create the steam requested by the client. The energy will be cleaned in a pollution control system that has been proven successful in TTI operations worldwide. One key observation during our site visit was the inefficient use of a potentially beneficial product, bamboo waste, to generate energy. TTI holds a patent pending for an indirect process that produces biochar and wood vinegar, designed primarily as a sustainability technology. Now, typically, the combined cost of energy and bamboo acquisition reduce profitability. But in this case, however, both bamboo and energy were available at little or no cost. Vinegar will be produced using an indirect process known as pyrolysis, a technology that TTI has employed for over 30 years, including a recent 6-year contract here in Vietnam that we just completed. In this process, bamboo is heated in a rotary kiln without oxygen, decomposing the material and releasing gases and vapors which condensed into wood vinegar. The required heat for process will come from excess steam generated by the custom combustion unit and boiler operation. Bamboo waste will be delivered to the facility free of charge. This method of producing wood vinegar from bamboo waste advances sustainability and provides a useful byproduct. Wood vinegar serves as a natural pesticide, soil conditioner, and plant growth enhancer, supporting sustainable agriculture. By converting bamboo waste into wood vinegar, the facility will reduce environmental impact while promoting sustainable agriculture and efficient resource utilization.